in the upper left in the red. Took a quick 2-0 in the round of 8. He's Nightmare. His opponent in the upper right, the killer of Protoss with an 85% chance to win this series, it's Byun. He's Byun-stoppable. Honestly, though, Byun plays a very aggressive PvC. Oh, the probe dies. Oh, that shouldn't happen. Now, technically, probes have... Well, not technically. Probes have 40 HP, and SCVs max out at 45. So, in a straight-up fight, the SCV always wins. But normally, you pull back, and you regen some shields, and you go again. So, Nightmare really not paying as much attention as he should have. At the end of the day, it's not the biggest of deals, except it really is a denied scout for Nightmare. If you look at his vision right now, he's aware that there is a barracks. That is it. So, where does Nightmare go? Again, Nightmare is arguably, I don't even think arguably, Nightmare is the underdog in this series by a significant margin. But again, he has been looking rather good. He's been taking some big names, not against Terrans necessarily. The reason that I think of Nightmare as just such a good player right now is the fact that he 2-0'd Classic in truly dominating fashion 2 weeks ago in EBT Korea, and the big map actually where, well, no, honestly, it was on this map, and it was Tropical Sacrifice. And on this map, he would just abuse the map. The fact that it is quicker for Blink Stalkers to rotate from this base and this position over to this position, or even the third base. But I think it was towards the natural. I don't think Classic took this base. Than it is really for your opponent to rotate, because it's just there are more high ground, low ground situations. So by doing so, he just tore Classic apart, and then in the next game, he did the same on Tropical Sacrifice. So we're going to have to see what that happens. The Reaper in the main base now. Shield battery is going to keep things alive. That probe got low, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess for Nightmare, it's very good at limbo. It goes low, 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 low all the time. But in the natural, though, this probe will fall. So again, getting a little bit of value because the Adept on the other side is actually not doing much of anything. The goal of this Adept is to delay this command center, but guess what? Free base. And because the command center can be built so close, the lack of efficiency is really not there. So Reaper has gotten 1 kill Adept in the high ground, doing a good job of zoning. Probes are going to get pulled off the line, but I think this is going to be a second dead probe. Yes, it is. And now the Adept with the Hug of Death kills the Reaper, but 3 total probes have died this game, and the Adept on the other side also dead. Not looking good here for the Prince of Dreams. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, you know, for casts, you make some fun references, right? So I was trying to remember, because there is a Greek god of nightmares. There's a god for everything. I'm like, oh, is this something that is familiar enough to, like, oh, you know, if Nightmare is doing something really good, you know, Byun better play to whoever. Pray to whoever, because this is going bad. But it's Epiales, which is not something anyone, if I say, you better pray to Epiales, I was like, what the hell, Bayo? What are you talking about? But what am I drop into the natural here? And probes are get pulled, trying to, this is a, no, oh, okay, that could have been a lot worse. 5 workers go down, the Stalker as well, but there were about that many, 5 more workers. That could have been 10 dead probes. The Nightmare is, well, this is a Nightmare opening for the man at this point. Epiales, because now I can talk about it as, oh, he's going to get the medevac, though. That's nice. And one of mine falls as well. I can now make that reference because we talked about it. Smart caster here. Big brains. Nightmare's going to have to pray to Epiales at this point because he finds himself down on workers on a 2-base Terran. And because of how Chrono works, you never want to be down workers until the late game where you're like, okay, well, yeah, it's fine because I don't really want to build any more workers at this point. So Nightmare wants to trap Blink on the high ground because, hey, the Zilnaga gives vision, but there's a tank there. And these are just dead Marines. Nightmare. Unfortunately, Epiales did not did not favor him with his blessing. This is this is a problem now for Nightmare in this game. Byun is just macroing up and macroing up. He's got 2 barracks. Third barracks is on the way. Stim at a tidy timing. It's going to be done by the 7:30 push. We're going to see combat shields, stim, all that +1. You know the deal, and Nightmare understands that this has to be 4. Oh, no, more damage. 2 more. It's only 2 workers, but 10 probes. 10 probes die. Nightmare is going to look for another option, and this time looks like through the other side of the map, but there's a tank there as well. Why the top left base first? Because it is totally free. It is, you really don't lose any mining efficiencies. It looks like the auto turret drops again. 4 more probes fall. You don't really have any loss of efficiency from long distance mining to knock the minerals down. And the adept can't run across the map and delay a natural, as say we saw Nightmare try to do. And it's just a lot. It makes your life a lot. It's vulnerable to say with Oracle play, but that's about maybe some Blink Stalker play later on. But Byun has this one buttoned down tighter than my pajamas when it's really cold out. That's a good scan there. Knocks the observer down as well. So Nightmare's not really going to be able to find much more value here. And he does have 5 more gateways on the way. Third base as well. But the third base is kind of finishing up right around the same time the third CC for Byun will. And yeah, it's not going to go on the low ground just yet. But Byun may be able to kill Nightmare with this push. And he's going to have he has a big eagle lead as well. It's not Epialis, by the way. It's Epiales. E-P-I-L-E-S. And there's probably a Macron over that E, so it'd be Epiales. That's the right word. That's the term, right? For the line over a vowel that makes it the hard version. I think it's called a Macron. I pulled that word out of my head, and I have not have not spoken that word outside of talking about maybe the French president. And that's Macron in a long time. But now here comes the push of Byun with bio, with medevacs, with tanks, with everything else. And Stalkers maybe going to try to find something here. SCVs are going to get pulled, but Byun has left enough at home, I think, to be able to deal with this one, especially if Nightmare is not really blinking. 6 workers fall, but oh, Byun actually, okay, he says he's got to be forced back. He says he wants to catch these Stalkers, and the recall is going to get forced. So nice delay for Nightmare. He's still not in the best spot as we have the double drop in the high ground, but there are charge lots here, so Byun he's got to run on back. Good blink. Medevac is going to stay alive, though. And I mean, Byun is not upset that he couldn't make this push happen. He's still in a fantastic spot, but we're not at 56 army supply at 16 like we were just a moment ago. And with armor on the way, yeah, Byun's going to wait for 1-1 at the very least at this point. Now, of course, that being said, Nightmare is moving into a second Robo, into Robo base, so this should be for disruptors in this game, as Zealous trying to hold the Xel'Naga, but Byun says, no. I know how powerful this Xel'Naga tower is in the hands of a good Protoss player because of what it means for Blink. It is very important that I hold this base, but now Byun's going to find a bit of the army of Nightmare, and of course, force fields are going to be able to keep him safe for the most part. In fact, maybe even going to allow him to take the fight as Zealots come running in. The tanks are not yet sieged, but there are gaps in these force fields, and Byun just keeps streaming on through. He's doubling the army supply. At this point, it's going to be even worse before it gets better, if it ever does get better. We're never, ever getting better back together. Ever. Okay. Looks like finally Nightmare will own the Xel'Naga, and that should keep him safe from a lot of drops, but it's not the drops that Nightmare should be afraid of. Instead, it is this run by this entire army into the third base. Byun just getting on top of the shield battery immediately. And with this, the tank siege up. The Zealots from the backside. It's a little bit of a disjointed fight. Byun microing his way on through, trying to get on top of these Stalkers ASAP. And yeah, Byun. Okay, he does dodge. Byun has been known to get maybe a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too ballsy about disruptors, and he's not going to do that in this game. So 10 more workers, 11 more workers will fall. A couple Widow Mines on the backside are going to be part of the only bit of rally that Byun has, but he has wiped out this mineral line, a mineral line that Nightmare could sorely afford to lose. He's going to get the pylon too, but not before the Stalkers warp in. And now maybe this is a bit of a problem. The medevacs are getting targeted down, but Zealots cannot find their way in, and auto turrets are going to get dropped here. Probes are just continuously dying. Stalkers as well. And Byun will eventually lose this army. He eventually will, but I'm not even sure it matters necessarily. It's 100 army supply to 20. Maybe he doesn't even lose. No, he doesn't lose the army. And Byun is just too damn good. He's dodging all the shots. The probes continue to fall. Disruptor shot is going to force Byun out for the moment, but here comes the next round of reinforcements. The Widow Mines were just a precursor. an amuse-bouche. An appetizer, if you will, to the main course of pain and destruction as Nightmare taps GG twice because he is doubly out of this game beyond 1-0. In the upper right, in the red. Down one game in the series. Hopefully he's going to have a better sleep after this game. He is Nightmare. In the bottom left, in the blue, he is, of course, up one off of just oppressive gameplay for the Shopify Rebellion. It's Byun. Where's my mouse? There is my mouse. Fan. Please don't tell. Probe should not die again. Don't do it. Don't. Nightmare, this didn't work out for you once. Nightmare. No. Okay. Probe has regened its shields. It should be fine. And then, okay. Woo. Nightmare did not make the mistake of the previous game. He did not make the mistake of his forefathers. Which is good. Because as they say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me thrice, and never be fooled again. Or something to that effect. I know someone. Or if we were going to paraphrase certain people, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, never be fooled again. But anyways, Byun opening up with a bit greedier of an opening here, getting a rather quick factory. Anakin, thanks so much for the resub. 4 months in a row. That's a lot of months. It is 1/3 of a year. I almost said 25%, but that is 3 months. That's where you were. Now you're at 25. Now you're at 33%. Funny how percentages work. But okay, so how did this game started just so badly for Nightmare. He wasn't able to get anything done with the Adept. Widowmine drop, he just split poorly. And then he took damage to Reapers that he shouldn't have. And the Reaper, oh, good bounce there. He's gonna get one probe to start, and he's maybe even gonna get two. Now he doesn't want to dive through the middle line, but he gets it anyways. 2 workers go down, Stalker's now out, and that should be the end of that. But Byun, he gets one less worker than last time because he didn't go and didn't lose workers to the to the SCV battle in the early game, but still. The Reaper going to try to dive in once again, but there's a Stalker here. So this is the sacrificial Reaper where he looks for a rescout. Oh, he finds his way into the main base. What's he going to see? He's going to see the Twilight looking at me. Oh, please, no, not allowed. He wanted to make sure he got the scout. Said he was not interested in getting that extra worker, and he gets the scout off. That's the important thing. He maybe even seen it earlier, but he gets the scout that there's nothing else there. If he had stuck on that probe, he would have killed another probe. What's my 5K time, BML? Are we talking about... if we're asking about my PR... hey, Grumpage. Have a good night. Sleep is important, lest you have nightmares. But my 5K time... My 5K PR, I'm not anywhere close to there again. I have really bad feet, and I've spent the last couple years trying to fix it, and kind of finally fixed it, but I'm not training nearly as hard as I did when I ran cross country. But my 5K PR is 2030. I was never a great distance runner. I was very much a sprint guy. So my half mile time doing like repeats and partial recovery is 2:12, I think. But okay, Widowmine drops, going to try to find their way into the main base right now. One Widowmine drops, second Widowmine drops. Oh, that probe feels a little bit late. Oh, but okay, does not quite trigger. Could have been a lot worse. Second Widowmine, though, is going to be a little bit annoying. And Byun unburrows, reburrows, unburrow. No, he's going to accept. Oh, he will unburrow, reburrow. And he's going to accept. Oh, no. Oh, good retargeting. Look at this. That's so annoying. He gets 2 probes. Byun is just obnoxious. So yeah, my PR 2030. My half mile time doing partial repeats on not on a track, so on just like on a park loop that had some undulations to it was about 2 minutes and 12 seconds. But yes, Anakin, as I was talking about ultimate frisbee, and there's a lot different playing pickup than it is playing playing with people that know what they're doing. It's a lot of fun though. And it's a good excuse for me to do sprint work because I've been getting my base back in shape, my distance up, but it is very different. As Stalker's gonna look for this medevac, and they're gonna find it, but only in passing. So the medevac should be able to escape. And the game goes on. So Byun stim on the way. It's going to be ready for that 7:30 timing that we talk about so gosh darn much. And realistically, I don't think he got a Raven, right? Oh, he did. Okay. So it's the exact same thing as game 1. Raven finding no value just yet. But this Raven, I want to say the Raven got 7 or 8 probes in the last game, which is just a lot of damage. And unfortunately, Flex Tape is probably not going to be able to fix it. So, well, for now, Byun not doing too much with the Raven. Again, he's just getting his army set up in earnest. So I think what we're going to see him do, because again, this is a charge lot opening from Nightmare. He will not have Colossus for the defense. Well, Byun's going to wait until Nightmare goes and accepts the pressure. Or really, Byun's going to wait until he moves out with his pressure. And then you just drop auto turrets on 2 mineral lines, and it becomes nasty, because what are you supposed to do? Micro in 3 places? That is hard as hell. Kira can do it, but not many other Protoss can. That being said, it looks like Byun might not even be going for the pressure just yet, because he's got a drop going bottom side. It's a Widowmine and 6 Marines. Yes, for a half mile, effectively an 800 meter. Now that's not as fast as I am now, Anakitos. Anakitos. That's not as fast as I am now. That is as fast as I was my junior year of high school. I don't know, because I wasn't running on a track. I was running on a half-mile loop. But okay, so now Raven auto turret goes in. 3-4 workers will go down. Second set auto turrets get dropped, and this is actually disastrous damage already. 6 workers fall, and the pressure's coming from Byun in earnest. Dropping the main base here. Stalkers are kind of prepared to deal with this. Widowmine fight its way into the gas, so actually not a lot of potential damage, and in fact, it's just not even doing much of anything. But Byun into the third base. He goes tank sieging up around the corner. Not a lot of zealots here right now. Widowmine actually not even doing anything just yet. Now the bio going to find its way in, and that's just a dead shield battery, so nothing really keeping it alive. Meanwhile, 10 workers have died. Byun into the natural heat stims. This is oppressive. Byun is just playing so damn well tonight. Nightmare is dead. Regardless of whether he's dead now, whether he taps out minutes from now, he has just lost 34 workers. The Widowmine still in the main base, still not going off because of just the funky timing on the gas. You love to see it. It's kind of funny, actually, but the third base totally broken. In fact, it's dead, and Byun, well, he can go back and get a third base. The third base is done. But I think we're just going to see him move out with his next set of bio, because at this point, he's at 40 army supply. He's killed 44 workers. It looks like the Widowmine finally went off. Byun retargeted. Auto turret in the main base as well. Where's the Raven? There we go. Raven with 16 kills. My goodness. That's a lot of kills. And now, okay, Nightmare finds himself in a choke. Stalker's playing forward, trying to knock these tanks down. The one tank survives. Oh, good hot pickup there from Byun. And now Byun returns back home, and Nightmare says, yep, it's over. Byun into the finals.